What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western Europe Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today comes from Strangebird, and they are out of Rochester, New York, and this is their 4 petals. So they are calling this one an Italian Pilsner that comes in at 5% alcohol by volume, 20 IBUs, and at the time of review, this can is just over 5 weeks old. So this is the first beer I'm reviewing from Strangebird on the channel. I've had a couple beers off camera from them. I've had a dry hopped Saison that was pretty good, and then I had a white wine barrel aged Belgian Tripel that was quite interesting at a recent beer festival. So this is the first one I'm reviewing on the channel, however, and it's an Italian Pilsner that's a little bit different. So they're using Pilsen, Carapils, and Crystal 65, but they're also brewing this with, and I quote, shout out to the car, with crazy light. You can everything shaking, my cans are shaking, fantastic. But they're brewing this with a touch of Italian plums, which they mentioned just plums on the back here. And now we got motorcycles going by, and I'm not restarting this Western Europe Wednesday. Just this is what you want when you're reviewing. And is that car still out there going crazy? He still hasn't turned? Unbelievable. Anyway, let's crack this one open and get it into the glass. Now, the Italian Pilsner style, I'm still somewhat, not like 100% understanding what it is, but I did a little bit of a research recently as I somehow duff this pour. I don't know what I'm doing. But I went and looked to see, did I pour it like a maniac too, or is it just, oh, thank God. First I spilled some, then I poured it like a maniac. What would have happened there? But no, anyway, I kind of did a little bit of like research, read a couple articles. What exactly is an Italian Pils? Like, what is supposed to be like, the actual telltale sign of one? And basically, it's more or less like a dry hopped German Pils. A lot of times it can be unfiltered. Of course, I forgot about, why wouldn't it be all over here? A lot of times it can be unfiltered. But basically, you want to dry hop the Pilsner itself with, old world European hops, or you could use some new school European hops, but you don't want anything that's going to dominate the beer. So they don't want like just a dry hop lager. They want you to still get the Pilsner base, but dry hopping, I'm pretty sure based on what I know about this, is a must. So I always get a big herbaceousness to it. Maybe, I hear Italian, I'm starting thinking like basil and like food, right? But that's what I usually get. So yeah, this has an unfiltered. Now, I don't know how it's gonna come off on camera, but in person, it has like this, like almost sunshine color, but it's like kind of dull because of the unfiltered nature of this one. It has just maybe like a finger and a half of a soap sudsy, bright white, fluffy looking head, decent carbonation, but yeah, very light. It's like a light, I'd say like a light yellow kind of straw color. But yeah, I think it plays the role of what you're kind of looking for in terms of the style. Let's get a nose. Yeah, so very vibrant, very vibrant. Yeah, so a lot of that bready kind of crackery, biscuity malts. More, I'd say it's more crackery and bready than it is anything else. But then I'm getting herbaceousness. It's like a little bit of basil, maybe thyme, something in that realm. There's a touch of an earthiness, maybe a spice character. It has a lovely, like lightly fruited kind of, almost like a lemon kind of citrus character. But there's also like orchard fruits, like, like apples and pears. Not big, but there. And those plums, I don't know if they're giving me more like maybe like a ramped up kind of like fruity note, but I'm not specifying Italian plums. I probably couldn't anyway. But if you're saying there's Italian plums here, there's some nondescript fruit that definitely is standing out. Now, again, this is not true to the style, I would say. Maybe the base beer is, but they're brewing it with a touch of Italian plums. And as far as I know, that's not part of the style. But, nowadays, all kinds of different variants and takes on different styles. Man, it smells really good, though. It smells like a German style Pilsner with a little bit more fruitiness and a little bit more vibrancy. That's about all. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. That is way more smooth and soft than I anticipated on the mouthfeel. When you drink a Pilsner, so many people refer to as like, again, a lower ABV lager of some point, as a crispy boy, right? Like, that's a crispy boy because it's crisp on the palate. It's effervescent. I wouldn't necessarily call this a crispy boy after that first sip. So body on this one, medium body, maybe a touch under, 5%, that's fine. Getting the mouthfeel. It's a little bit softer than anticipated. It has a real nice smooth kind of feeling on the palate as well. Not really creamy, but this is like mild to moderate carbonation as opposed to like moderate carbonation you get in a style like this. Does it work? I don't know. I think maybe I would like a little bit more carbonation. I'm not sure. Flavors, however, are really nice. There's a lot of sweet, fruity, and malty goodness at the front of the palate. So there is that crackery, bready malt character at the front, maybe a touch of like a honey. Then it transitions into, again, that citrus, more lemon than anything else. Lemon zest, lemon rind, a little bit of like a juicy lemon as well. But after that, I'm hit with those orchard fruits that then kind of turn into, again, I think it's the Italian plum because it's a nondescript, generic fruitiness that's kind of enhancing the overall fruit character of the beer, which is, again, different for the style, but I think it's nice. Second half of the palate, however, you get hit with this this nice herbaceousness, and again, it's in like that basil kind of realm. There's also a nondescript like spice there too. I don't want to say coriander or clove or anything specifically like that. Like I'm not getting that specifically, but I could see maybe in that realm. Maybe almost like an allspice. This is full on dry with a mild to moderate bitterness, more dry than bitter, but it balances out pretty well on the back end. This might lean a little bit more sweet, like 60-40 sweetness to dryness, but it's okay. I think this is really nice. This is a different take on Italian Pilsner that I've had personally, and I think it's the plums that are doing it specifically. I think that enhanced fruitiness coming from the plums is something that's throwing it off, but not in a negative way, just in a different way. So I actually think this is pretty solid, pretty enjoyable. I'm going to drink the rest of this and have no issues doing so. But if you go into this thinking you're getting a straight on 100% authentic Italian Pilsner, then probably not. But at this point, again, the Italian Pilsner is a relatively new style, not like super new, but I think it was first started being brewed and thought upon back in like the mid 90s. But like you just have started seeing him here in like the last 5 to 10 years in the States, and really the last like 3 or 4 years breweries kicking them out. But this is a different take on it. It's a nice take. It's not my favorite take from an Italian Pilsner, but I'm not mad at it. So the first beer from Strangebird on the channel for Pedals, I have no issues whatsoever giving this one a low 4 out of 5. I'm going to go 3.95 out of 5. Almost gets in the 4 range. I think with a little, I think the mouthfeel now, looking at what I'm drinking and whatnot, I think I want a little bit more carbonation from it. I think it's slightly lacking, and that would kick it up into the 4, maybe high 4 range. But as is, this is like a really nice beer in general. So price point, availability, price point, bit steep. Here in Buffalo, we do get Strangebird at a couple different places. I think a 4-pack of this was like $18 at the place I went to. And I think a single was like $4.69, $4.79. So a bit pricey, honestly, for a beer like this. But, you know, it also has Italian plums in it. So, you know, I would like to see this more in the $4 range with those Italian plums, but it is what it is. So a bit high, but Strangebird stuff, like I said, I've enjoyed trying their stuff, and I will try more on the channel. And availability, Western Europe, I'm pretty sure with Strangebird, I don't think they get, you know, too far outside of the Western Europe area. But if you see them, and let's say you're in another state, or maybe you're, you know, further downstate, closer to New York City, let me know. I'd be curious to know if what kind of distro they get outside of the Western Europe area. So if you have this one before, post in the comment section. 5% alcohol, you can't taste it. I'm just, you know, after reviewing this one, I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, I haven't reviewed a ton of Italian Pilsners. I even haven't had a lot of Italian Pilsners, but they've all been kind of unique in their own right, which I think just shows you, like, as far as the style goes, especially when it comes to American breweries, nobody's like brewing them, I guess, probably by the book, or if they are, they're putting their little twist on them, kind of with the Italian plum. So I'm gonna have to try like an authentic Italian Pilsner at some point just to see exactly what I'm supposed to be getting out of these, because they're fun, but I don't have enough knowledge of the base beer itself or the base style to really tell you exactly what I should be tasting in these reviews. So anyway, appreciate it. To the next one. Cheers. Oh yeah, stop back. Next Wednesday, I am going to probably be reviewing a beer from the Grow Brewing Company. I've reviewed a couple on the channel. Really like their stuff, and I think I got like a hazy pale ale or something from them, so we're going to check that out. Anyway, to the next one. Cheers.